Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Oscar. This is Nexus Fellowship Online, and today you're joining in on our special program, Nest Talk, with me and Blessing Dapaah here in the studios. I'm so glad that you guys are joining us. Today we're going to have a conversation about her Blessing's life, her faith life, her personal life in Belgium, in Europe, as a young African Ghanaian also. And maybe I believe that there will be something in her story that will encourage you, that will inspire you to keep going. And so, Blessing, thank you so much for joining me today. She's a graduate of the University of Antwerp, so she's a very high-profile person to have in my studio today. So thank you so much for joining me, and I'm really appreciative of it. So let's start, not to waste too much time. Let's see. I probably will give you the platform if you can tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit about yourself, just who you are, what you do, and yeah, that sort of thing. So feel free to introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Blessing Dapaah, and I'm 25 years old. I live in Belgium, in Antwerp, but I'm originally from Ghana. My parents are originally from Ghana, but I was born here. Like Oscar said, I'm a physiotherapist. I graduated in 2018 at the University of Antwerp, and I started working immediately after I graduated. So currently I'm working in a private office.
Yeah.
I work in 2 different offices. So yeah, that's what I do for now. I'm also self-employed or independent.
Yeah.
So that is what I'm currently doing on a professional side. Besides my professional life, I have a big passion for football and also for cooking.
Yeah.
I used to play football. I think I started at age of 11.
Yeah.
But I quit playing football at age of 20 due to some circumstances. Things were not going well within the team and within the club. And I was also in the middle of my education then.
Yeah.
So I decided to focus more on education and leave football aside.
Yeah.
So at the moment I'm not playing anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very interesting actually, because I know about your football, and actually you still like football a lot. Yeah. So maybe let's talk a little bit about how was it like growing up in Belgium, because you have like parents who are from Ghana, from Africa, Ghana to be specific, and you grew up here in Europe. How was it like, how was the two world? Because I believe that your parents, being Africans, had a different way of going about things, different culture, mindset, and you living in this European culture. How was it a little bit? How did you experience it? Can you maybe talk a little bit about that?
Yes. Well, my story is actually a bit uncommon because, like I said, I was born in Belgium. My parents came from Ghana, but I didn't grow up with my biological parents actually. When I was 1 year old, my dad decided to give me and my sister to a foster family, so a white family.
Yeah.
Because of some issues back in the days, he was struggling. It was not easy.
Yeah.
So he decided to give us a fair chance to grow up.
Yeah.
And also he didn't want us to see the struggle he went through.
Yeah.
So when I was 1 year old, we came in the foster family, and it went very fast.
Yeah.
They took us as their own children, while they had already 3 of their own.
Okay.
And besides me and my sister, they had another boy.
Okay.
Like from Congolese origin.
Okay.
And then later on, they also took another little girl.
Okay.
She was from Belgium, but she had also, not really a fair chance because of her background. So they also took her. So in the total, we were like 7 children.
Oh wow!
And then mom and dad. Yeah. So it was quite different from others. I grew up in an overall white village.
Yeah.
Me and my sister.
You mean Belgian family?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
we were like the only children with an African background.
Yeah.
We went to school in a school where 95% of the students were white.
Yeah.
So it had advantages and disadvantages.
Yeah.
The advantages is like because of that we had all the time to study and to learn the traditions and the values
Yeah.
of Belgian people.
Yeah.
We got introduced to their food, their way of living, how they celebrate Christmas, and all those kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because what they do is completely different from what we did or what we are doing when we visit our biological parents.
Yeah.
Yes. So meanwhile, living at the foster family, we also went on weekly basis back to our biological father. So we never lost contact.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was, when I look back at it now, I'm happy that we did. So that, because now we have like the two cultures.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I know about African culture, Ghanaian culture.
Yeah.
I don't speak the language, but yeah, I know about their food, about
Exactly.
their traditions, and I'm living here in Belgium, so I know how to cope with with white people.
Belgian,
I can easily cope with being with white people and having white people around me, being in a white school and all those things.
Yeah.
I don't have problems with it.
Yeah.
So that's
right.
something
Very, very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
growing up. Also meant in a white
Setting,
environment. Also meant a lot of discrimination,
Yeah.
subtle and obvious discrimination. As a child, sometimes you don't see it or you don't notice it, but it was there. When I look back now, it was there.
You can make sense of it now, why those things happened the way they happened back then.
And it's because in the village where I was living then, there were not much immigrants. So people were not used to the fact that, oh, this girl is black.
Yeah.
What is she doing here?
Yeah.
But now, it has changed.
Yeah.
The whole village, I mean, not the whole village, but there are a lot of immigrants coming in and people with African background, Moroccan background. Yeah. So it has changed.
Yeah. So when you say it has changed, you mean the way people look at people with different backgrounds, that their attitude have changed now. That is what you mean. Yeah. They respond to them in a more better way than maybe some years when you were a kid growing up. Yeah.
Yeah. They are not surprised.
Exactly.
They are not surprised.
Okay. So. That is very interesting, because Belgium is like how do you say, I have already lived here now 15 years, so I can imagine somebody who has lived here her whole life and being an African, I can imagine the sort of things you had to go through. But how was it also like in your education, like in school? Did you experience anything that was like unusual because you were an African, or the way did you receive the same supports like everyone constantly?
No, I cannot say that in terms of having support or like asking teachers for assistance, or I cannot say that they didn't give me the same chances as other children. That is not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But there are always people who think that, oh, this girl is black, or she's from an African family.
Yeah.
Probably they are poor, or probably
the presumption.
they don't have food to eat during the break, lunch break, or something like that, and they will make comments, or they will assume that, do you have food with you, or do you know what this? I mean, such comments, certain comments that were made, and then as a child you will not realize that is not okay. But then when I go home and I tell my foster mom, the teacher said this, then she'll be like,
Yeah.
So there are always things.
Those I mean, they are not really, how do you say, it's not racial discrimination or anything like that, but they're just comments that you think like, should you have been a Belgian white, you wouldn't have received those remarks from people. Those are the things that made okay. But it's very good to also to hear, because I think it's good for, like, if there is a young person now going to school and maybe hearing questions that she thinks like, these are why are you asking me these questions? I think it's, that it's just people are concerned somehow, and they don't mean it maybe bad, but it just
It's lack of
out of
knowledge.
lack of knowledge. There's a little bit of ignorance in that, and also like conclusions that you think like, that's very good to hear. So let's join this question then to, or this answer to, the current situation now in that we all have to deal with. So how are you experiencing like Corona? And then also there's this Black Lives Matter movement situation. We all know about George Floyd and those issues that happened actually some months ago. And also, there are a lot of issues that are facing the world now. Just give me like a description. How do you see the world now? What is your view? Maybe it might be a very huge question, but just in your own, words, how do you see the world, the situation in the world now with Donald Trump?
Donald Trump.
No, we're not going to do that.
Well, sometimes I really think that some people are crazy and they need psychological help. That is what I think.
That's your conclusion.
Often.
Yeah.
Corona, there's not much I can say about it, because I don't want to say things that are not true. There are scientists who are talking, so I believe they know what they're doing.
Talking about.
So all I can say is sit back and watch and see what's gonna happen.
Don't fold,
But Corona itself, it has an impact on everybody, I guess. In the beginning, we all thought it's nothing serious. I remember I was watching the news and they said there is another virus in China.
Yeah.
And I just...
You thought it was just like one of those...
Another one.
Yeah.
And then you see people with masks and it's like, that is China,
Yeah.
But then later on it came and it evolved to the first man in Belgium got infected and has to go in quarantine, and then I was surprised. And then it came faster and faster and faster, and now it's like all over the world. So there's not much I can say. I can only hope and pray that it will soon be all over. Because this is not life. No, this is not life. Wherever you go, people will be commenting on you. Don't do this. Don't touch this. Sanitize your hands. Wear your mask. You are not wearing your mask the way you're supposed to be. And also this Corona pandemic is creating more racism than before. Because that is what I read now on social media. I have a lot of, I cannot call them friends, but Facebook friends. White Facebook friends. How they think it's normal they are saying that this Corona thing is because of Muslims.
Okay.
Muslims, because they don't keep the 1.5 meter distance. And they go to the mosque and they pray and they don't keep distance and this and that, and I'm like, wow. So also when people went to the supermarket and bought loads of toilet paper, and it was only the immigrants who were doing that. That's what people are saying.
But that is
these
not
Moroccans,
true.
these black people, they are all they all think about themselves. They buy loads of toilet paper. They don't keep distance from me. They don't want to take a trolley. And I'm like, it's
making everybody it's creating even more chaos than it's supposed to. And I think that we unfortunately we are living in a world where I think people are always pointing fingers at other people and trying to blame them instead of taking responsibility for themselves. And we can't help it, but we live in a culture where we have to live with other people. We cannot go back to how it used to be. If how it used to be good, which I don't know because I was never there. I only know what we are living in now. But yeah, I guess like you're saying, it's very true. People are becoming more and more agitated, especially a lot of phobias. Actually, people fear a lot of
Yes.
things,
Yeah.
and I think that is also what the Black Lives Matter issue is all about. The people are still, yeah, are still holding on to a certain level of hate, discrimination that has no basis, actually, or that cannot be proved, whether scientifically or non-scientifically, just personal, response. Yeah. And has any of this situation affected you personally? Like, have you had any personal experiences with Corona, Black Lives Matter? Did they come any closer than maybe you had expected them or something like that?
I find it, it's unfortunate that people fail to understand the meaning of Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
They believe that we think that white lives doesn't matter or don't matter,
Mm-hmm.
but that is not what we are saying or
No,
that
no.
we are trying to say.
Yeah.
They fail to understand, and I believe they will never understand
Yeah, of course.
because they don't have our skin color.
Mm-hmm.
Not until then they will understand it. But yeah, what Black Lives Matter actually mean is just that it's not because we are black that you can treat us
Anyhow,
and
yeah.
because that's what they are doing.
Mm-hmm.
I have never experienced any such kind like what George Floyd or
Yeah.
like police brutality.
Brutally, yeah.
I cannot say that I have experienced it in such way,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but it is obvious that whenever you get stopped by the police, they always, the way they talk to you, the way they approach you is different from when they would have approached you if you
You're
were
a Belgian.
white.
Yeah.
And they will always deny it.
Mm-hmm.
If you go and tell your friends, they will also tell you that you over exaggerate,
Mm-hmm.
but it is not.
Yeah.
It is not.
Yeah.
So that's actually what we are talking about. It's not because we are black that you can just treat us anyhow, because
Mhm.
we have the same. I always tell my friends, we have 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth, and 2 ears, just like you.
Mm-hmm.
It's only the outside
That is different, yeah.
So I don't. It's a pity. It's really.
It is a pity. It
It's a
is
pity.
indeed. But like you're saying, it is very true that it is all about respect, and nobody is even asking that you should give anybody more than any other person. You just allow people to be. That is, I think, part of the message. Allow people to be. Let them be themselves. Stop standing in their way. Stop trying to force your ideas. Stop trying to define them. Stop trying to make conclusions about them. And that let them be themselves. Instead of judging them before they even had the chance to do something or something like that. Which unfortunately not everybody thinks that. Think the same, because they think, oh, maybe being an African, you don't deserve to be somewhere that other Belgians or other white people are allowed to be, which is a pity and a wrong perception. And I'm happy that at least the conversation came up, the Black Lives conversation came up over the unfortunate passing of George Floyd. And also I think there is still this awareness that is coming up now, that people are becoming more and more aware of the situation of how, like you're saying, because people think you are black, they permit themselves to talk or to say things that they don't have the per se the right to say. We are who we are, and I think God created us this way, and we are happy to be the way we are, but we don't have to also have to defend ourselves all the time and those things there. So I hope, like, how do you see the future? Do you think like in the future there will be some changes, or people, are you hopeful or you're not hopeful?
It's not gonna change.
It's not gonna change.
The Black Lives Matter movement, people going on the streets. No.
You don't believe
It's not
that
gonna-
it
it's not
will
going
make
to
an
change.
impact? Yeah.
And maybe it's not the right mentality,
Mhm.
but I'm just being realistic. I support it,
Mhm.
and I believe that we should cry out. We should talk.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't think it's going to change, because this discrimination thing, it's in the people.
Yeah.
It's in the society already.
Yeah.
The fact that people don't understand or don't want to see that they are doing it is the problem.
Yeah.
Because whenever you address them with the issue, hey, what you just said or what you are doing now is not okay, they will tell you, oh, come on, you are over exaggerating.
Yeah.
It's tiring, and I'm tired, and I don't think it's going to change.
Yeah.
Even with this new president now, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so,
Yeah.
because it goes from generation to generation. Like my parents' generation, but white people, I mean, like 50, 60 years old, if they think like that, they have taught their children maybe like don't get along with black people, or if you bring home a black girl, I'm not gonna accept her. And then they will also teach their children that, hey, my parents said that I could not come home with a black girl, so you will not come home with a black girl.
Yeah.
And so on and so on. I'm not talking for everybody, but it happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have heard it myself.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to change.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that it is. That there are still people who think like that, and really discriminate against whether it's black or whether it's Muslim based on religion or whatever it is. I think it is a very difficult thing for me personally to accept, because like you never wake up thinking like you deal with people based on how they treat you. If they are wrong, if people treat you wrong, you respond to them and let them know like, hey, you're treating me wrong. But you never go from that point of somebody looks like that, so I'm not going to, it is a weird concept of responding to people. But unfortunately, that is the world we live in today. And my prayer, and of course I hope that the future will be a little bit better than it is now. That we can at least move on from where we are today. Like that there will be more love, there will be more acceptance, that people will be more open, and that we will live in societies where what color of skin you have doesn't matter anymore. But who are we? We can only talk about it and also stand up when we need to stand up, have conversations about it, and then hope that in the future things will be a bit better than it is now. Let's talk, maybe go back a little bit about maybe your personal life again. Like, so you graduated from the university. How was the studies for you? Was it a bit difficult, or was it like, how did you experience the university life? Was it a bit different?
University itself is difficult.
Yeah.
It's hard. I think that's why you can choose whether to go to university or go to college. I'm not saying that college is easy.
It is, yeah.
I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know, because I haven't been to college. But university is hard. Especially the transition from secondary school to university is
a tough one.
Not easy. Because of the materials. You cannot compare it with secondary school. University, it's a lot. In a very short period of time. And you have to process
everything.
Okay. So that is difficult to adapt to. But my first year was not good.
Okay.
Was not good. And then I also doubted of continuing. Not because I didn't want to, but because university is expensive. And I don't want to cheat my parents because they paid for it, and but I continued, and along the road I got used to
the idea,
to the process, I mean, to the system. And what also is important is to get along with the right people.
Yeah.
Because in my first year, I didn't surround myself with
With the right
with the
people.
right people.
Yeah. Okay.
The people were, they were not paying attention,
Yeah.
not going to classes,
Yeah.
sleeping,
yeah.
and all those kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
you
pick that up.
pick it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
And then, of course, after the first year, they left.
Yeah.
But I continued, and I was alone.
Yeah.
So then I had to go and look for new friends.
Yeah.
And then I met the friends that I'm still in contact with.
Yeah.
They were very good students, always front row in the auditorium. So I also went front row.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference. Front row or
Back
in the
row.
back
Yeah.
is a big difference. I'm serious.
Yeah.
So front row every day, going to class every day, making notes.
Yeah.
And then it's a matter of studying.
Yeah.
So from my second grade till the last one, things went well. It was not easy, but I could do it.
You could do
I did
it.
it. So
exactly. You did
I did
it.
it.
Yeah. You did, but I think this is very good for like if anybody is watching and they are in the university, because I think that because of what I do and what we do, the people who probably watch this video are people who are in the university or college now. As this is a very good advice you just gave them, especially the fact that you surround yourself with the right people, and also not giving up even when the first year doesn't go well or as expected. Just find the right people, and like you were saying, just keep going, because it's possible. It's not because you're an African or that you have an African background that you cannot graduate from the university in Europe. It's possible. You know, if you have a good command of the language and you have the right people around you, I think it is possible. And so we actually are trying now to start this with the Young African Network that we have, to start this mentorship program where graduate students will also be able to mentor current students. So like people like in your position who have graduated, know how it works, can give information back to students who are still now trying to make it through the university or through the college. And I think information like this is very important, because when I went to the college, I eventually had to quit college. Why? Because I didn't have anybody around me that could support me. Mm-hmm. Second of all, I was not born in Europe. I didn't have a good command of the language. Mm-hmm. And studying at that level is not easy. It's just not something to joke with at all. So I had to reroute, find a different way to study professionally and to keep working and to grow. But if you're young and you're still in the university or in college, this is your opportunity. It's not, your background has nothing to do with it. It's a matter of how to do it. And what you just said is very good. Mm-hmm. So take it, surround yourself, don't sleep, take notes, and do something with your education, and it's going to work out. So this is very good. I like what you just said. Let's talk a little bit about like the failure aspect of life, because I mean, whatever you do, you're going to fault somewhere. Not everything you want will happen. Let's talk a little bit. Have you experienced any failures in your life?
Well, that was a tough question, but.
Or have you done things that you thought were going to succeed at a certain level that they didn't succeed at that level? Like maybe they settle a little bit lower.
Well, like I said, I'm a physiotherapist, but that was not my dream.
Okay.
No, my dream was to become a doctor.
Wow.
Yeah, a doctor.
Yeah.
Medical doctor. But in Belgium, you have to do entrance exams in order to start the education.
To become a doctor,
the 6-year education.
Yeah.
So in 2013, I entered the exams.
Yeah.
In Brussels. It was in Brussels.
Yeah.
So I knew that the exam would be about mathematics, physics, and chemistry, and biology.
Biology.
And then the second part would be like communication.
Okay.
Medical communication, how to communicate with your patients and all those stuff. So I thought I was prepared. I studied and I prepared myself, but the result was not good at all.
Yeah.
So I got my result and I saw that I failed. And I said, okay, no problem. There was a second chance in
Yeah.
August. The first one was in June or July,
Yeah.
and the second chance was in August. So I went again in August, and I did. It was the same exam,
Yeah.
maybe different questions, but the
The
same,
same sort of exams.
the
Yeah.
same process. But I failed again, and the second result was even worse than the first.
Yeah, how is that possible?
I don't know, and I cried. I
Oh
cried
yeah, of
a
course
lot.
I can imagine.
I
If
cried
that's
a
your
lot.
passion, you want to go for it.
Yeah,
indeed.
because also the second result, you got it
Yeah.
maybe a week before the school year was about to start.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
in a week time, I had to.
You have to decide. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
what do I have to do? What should I go and study? Because
Yeah.
I didn't had a plan B actually
yeah.
because I was sure that I'm gonna do this. This
Yeah.
is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
So I cried a lot and I didn't know. I was like,
Yeah.
what should I
tough.
choose?
Yeah.
What? So then I decided to go and study physiotherapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was disappointed at
Yeah,
first.
indeed,
I was
indeed,
disappointed, but like I said, as I finished the first year, I was doubting, but the second year went so well,
Yeah.
and I said, okay, let me just finish this, and when I finish, I can still see what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
But
I think it's really brave that you did that, and I think really that you really didn't let that setback like keep you away from
from studying.
from studying, from actually becoming something. Because for all you know, there are people who would have taken this failure wrong and would have stopped. You know, because you could attach anything you want to this result. You know, including racializing it, making it a racial issue, and just saying, okay, they don't want me to, or they are blocking me, or so I'm not going to take this step. But I'm really, actually, I feel very proud of you that you did take the step. You know, that even though the door that you were expecting to open did not go open, but you step into another door, and I think the future is still there for you, and hopefully, if one day, even if you want to go further, probably you are capable of doing that. But I think being a physiotherapist already is a very, I think it's something to be very proud of. And then 3 years at the university or 4 years is not that simple thing, because I know what it is to study in tertiary institutions in Europe. It's not easy. So chapeau. I mean, it's a very good job done. So, but I mean, like, this a lesson to learn. So if you go through, you will feel somewhere, some doors will not go open, but the goal is that you see where the door will go open and just go through with your life and don't stop. This is a very beautiful story, even though it's a very it's a hard to swallow story, you know, because of course if it's your passion, it's one thing that I'm very I take very serious in life, and that is passion to accomplish something. I think passion is important. So when somebody stands in the way of you and your passion, it's very, for me, it's like you're really denying a human being what they would like to do. But unfortunately, or fortunately, we live in a country where some things are done in a way to protect. I guess is the reason why those entrance exams are there, is to protect the doctors we are going to have in the society or something like that. So it's for a good cause. But yeah, I'm happy that you went out ahead with the physiotherapist, and one way it worked out. Yeah. It really worked out. It's a very beautiful story. So chapeau once again.
Thank you.
So now you've graduated. You spoke, I think, in your introduction a little bit about your own working as an independent. Can you kind of talk a little bit about that too, your experiences working after graduation? How is the career part of it? So actually you're somehow an entrepreneur, but you also work for an office. So how is it for you? How do you experience that? Maybe talk a little bit about it.
I started applying for jobs before I graduated, because that's what I was told.
Yeah, before you even actually graduated.
You should.
Wow.
You should be busy with it.
Yeah.
Writing motivational letters and curriculum vitae.
Yeah.
So that was what I was doing. I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
So it was a bit difficult.
Yeah.
But applying for jobs it didn't really go well
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
So I got discouraged a little bit.
Yeah.
So at a point, I went and visit an office
Yeah.
close to where I live, and I told the owner of the office, I'm graduating and I'm looking for a job. And
Yeah.
the guy told me, look, I'm not really looking for somebody to assist me,
Yeah.
but if you want, you can use my office when I'm not around,
Yeah.
and you can do your own clients. And I was like, okay, why not? So that is what I did.
Okay. Yeah.
I started building up my own client base
Yeah.
in the first 3 months after graduation. That's
Wow.
what I did.
Yeah.
But it went very slow, and it was not what I expected.
Yeah.
It was very hard. So I quickly realized that I have to do something else besides this. So then I went and worked in Antwerp, in Luchtbouw,
Yeah.
with another existing office.
Yeah.
I worked there for a complete year, a whole year, but it was also not really what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Luchtbouw is a strange area.
Yeah.
The people who live there, it's different.
Yeah.
So it was not really what I was looking for, and I also had problems with people paying in time.
Yeah.
So that is what I don't want.
Yeah.
So after a year, I left Luchtbouw, and then I went and worked in Hoboken. The place in Hoboken is very nice. We were also a lot of colleagues there. I think we are 6 or 7 there.
Okay.
So, and also a lot of people of my age group.
Yeah.
Which makes it very interesting.
Yeah.
And up till now, I'm still there, and I like it.
Okay.
I used to have a lot of work
Yeah.
there, but I started there in January this year, and then in March the Corona pandemic came up, and destroyed everything. So we went. We closed the office for 2 complete months.
Yeah.
It was terrible. In January I thought like, okay, now I'm
You're ready.
yeah,
You're
I'm
pumped
ready.
for
I
it.
can go. I can start working full time.
Yeah.
I can start saving.
Yeah.
I bought a car and all those kind of stuff. And then the pandemic came. Everything went down. Then in May we restarted. So we had to build up again because people were completely not coming again to the office.
Yeah.
They were scared.
Yeah, of course.
Which is understandable.
Which is understandable, yeah.
So we had to prove to them that we are really
safe.
Yeah. We sanitize the room every 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We wash our hands every 30 minutes.
Yeah.
All the measures. Then people started coming again, and everything went well until last month.
Yeah.
Until beginning of this month, November. Then the government came with another lockdown. And people are still coming now, but it is going down again.
Yeah.
So it has not been an easy journey, but
I can imagine it's life indeed. And so it's a very difficult situation in 2020, what we find ourselves in and the way things are going. So I think many people will be affected, their jobs will be affected, a lot of their situations will be affected. Pandemic situation we also find ourselves in. But I like the fact that you said something like you started already applying even before you graduated, because that is also very important, start applying for jobs, writing motivational letters. Those things are things that most people probably wait after their graduation, then they will start applying for jobs. But it's a very good tip to really even before you leave school to start looking out for.
I think it depends of the field you are in. Because in my field, physiotherapists mostly you don't change your office often. If you are working in an office, you stay there for a couple of years. So it doesn't. It's not often that they are hiring. So the chances of you getting hired is low. So that's why we all started applying before.
Very
And
fast,
also, if you are lucky, you can start in an office or in a hospital
Yeah.
where you interned.
Okay, yeah, like that,
But
yeah.
I was not lucky with that because
Yeah.
my internships, I wasn't lucky to find any internship that was interesting to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I didn't even want to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That is very good. I was thinking maybe that the physiotherapy. Can you maybe talk a little bit about what exactly it is? Like, what is it that? Yeah, just for people who don't know what physiotherapy is, maybe just give them a little bit of explanation what it is to be a physiotherapist. Yeah.
Physiotherapy is broad. It's
Yeah.
it's a big field.
Yeah.
It can go from working with elderly people to working with babies,
Okay.
and working with athletes,
Yeah.
working with people who have lung problems.
Okay.
It goes far.
Yeah.
What I'm doing, I graduated in the sports field.
Okay.
So I work with athletes, but not only athletes.
Yeah.
I can work with anybody. You mustn't be an athlete
Yeah.
to come to me. I treat people with back pain,
Back pain.
low
Yeah.
back
Okay.
pain, neck pain,
Okay.
headache,
All right.
knee problems, shoulder problems.
All right. Yeah.
So it's just about rehabilitation. So
Okay.
if you feel if you have any complaint, you can always consult us, and then we will find out together with you what the problem might be, and then we try to solve it, mostly through exercise.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
kind of fitness,
yeah.
of
Knowing where
yeah.
to exercise in order to
because
get better.
mostly the problem is in a lack of strength,
Yeah.
or lack of how do you say it, flexibility.
Flexibility. Okay.
So that's what we work on most of the time.
Okay.
But it can go far.
Yeah. That is very interesting. I think that gives a lot of us a good understanding about what physiotherapy is, and also how it works. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about, change gears a little bit and talk about faith, your belief systems, because you grew up in a Belgian home somehow, with a Belgian family. How was it like for you when it had to do with faith, believing in Jesus? And actually, I don't want to say you being a Christian, but I believe having a relationship with God, and to really, practice that part of your life, and also actually going through the university and those things. It's not that easy, I think, to believe in that sense. So how was it for you? How did you manage to stay in faith and actually to keep up with that?
The family where I grew up, they don't believe. Yeah. Back in the days, everybody did Holy Communion, but they don't believe in Jesus or anything. So we didn't go to church. But when I visit my dad, that's when we went to church.
Okay.
Like every 2 weeks, we went to church. And that's where we get in touch with the Bible and pastors and praying. Also, when I told my foster parents, like, we pray every time before we eat. They're like, seriously? So wow. So, but they have a lot of respect for that. And also, they even went to Abundant Life once back in the days. So, but I didn't have any religious education being in my foster family. It came mostly from my father's side.
Okay.
So when I was young, I wasn't really consistent in those things. Not at all. Because as soon as I left my dad, I went back to white life, and we don't pray, we don't talk about Jesus. So it was
a different thing.
And then when I went back, then it's like, hey, wash your hands, pray. So I wasn't consistent in it until a certain age where you can really make make out for yourself.
Self,
Okay,
yeah.
what do I actually believe?
Yeah.
And then I was at age. I remember I was playing football on Sunday, so I left church for a couple of years. I didn't go to church for I think 3 straight years in a row. And then at the age of 17, the scheme, the schedule changed.
Yeah.
So then the games were on Saturday.
Yeah.
Then I said, okay, let me go back to church. And then I went back to church. And there I realized that, I have missed it. And this is what I want.
Yeah.
And then I continued going to church. And there was a time I used to go to church every Sunday for years in a row. But at the moment, not consistent in going to church anymore. But
with the corona also it's difficult to gather with people in a church. So how do you like on the background, do you see what value can you say that your faith brings you? Where do you see, because I think for most people who don't believe, they don't see is it relevant? Do I need it? Because of course, if you can live without it, it's not like you cannot live if you don't believe. But do you see that it gives you something? Does it help your life? Does it help you keep going? Things like that.
I think that is personal for everybody.
Yeah.
I think if you are not a believer, if you're an atheist, you also have faith.
Yeah.
You have faith because I don't think you can do anything without faith.
Faith, yeah, exactly.
But the difference is probably you have faith in yourself.
Yeah.
If you are not a believer, you believe that, okay, I can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it. But the difference with somebody who believes is we can get energy from out of praying and reading Bible scriptures, and that is what we call faith.
Yeah, exactly.
We believe that God will do it.
Yeah.
God will do it. He has a plan. That is what we believe. If you don't believe that, no problem. But that is the difference, I guess, between believers and non-believers.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, faith, it helps. But you have to be careful. Yeah, because there will be a time that you will get disappointed. It happens, I think, for everybody.
Yeah.
And it has happened to me recently also. So there will be a time that, but I have been praying and I have been consistent in prayer and still it is happening or it is not happening.
Yeah.
Why? And then you will start asking yourself.
Yeah. Is this thing real?
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, God, why?
Yeah.
And then I had it myself not long ago, and I was so disappointed, and I discussed it with some people. I also discussed it with you, and then you gave me advice. You guide me through some Bible scriptures, and then which I read them, and then it's a matter of, okay, do I want to continue this or not? Yeah. And then you also have to go back to, okay, what did I ask, or what did I pray for, and it came out, and what had God done for me in the past already?
Yeah.
Is it because of this one thing that I have to lose faith? And then that is what I asked myself, and then you continue, and that is also, you also told me that God sometimes puts you through things because he knows that you can handle it.
Yeah.
Or he knows that there is something better ahead of you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So maybe he will take something away, or he will close a door for you. You will be disappointed, but it's because he knows that there is something better waiting for you at the other side of the road, or whatever. Yeah. So for me, faith, it helps. Yeah. It helps a lot.
Yeah, faith is, I think you've put it beautifully, because I like the fact that you're also able to express the side where you don't always, it's not like faith is not a vending machine. You know, some people make it look like that, like that it's like that God is like some place you just put a coin in and you make a request and you get what you want. It doesn't mostly work like that. Sometimes you pray about things, hope for things, and it will not happen as you expected them to happen. And I think that's how you learn to trust God more. And also, like a parent, not everything that you ask your parent that they will give you as a mother or as a father. There are some things that you ask and you will never get because they know that maybe it's not good for you, or they know there is better for you, or things like that. And so that is why faith is a relationship. A relationship is not built on, it's not transactional. It's not because of what I get, I love you, and if I don't get it, I hate you. You know, it's about no matter what you do, I still love you, whether you're good to me or not. It's a relationship, and you get to know God that way, and that is how, you know. I always say God is like your parent, but your grandparent. You don't relate to your parents because they give you always what you want. You relate to them because you come from them, because they are who you are. We come from God, so we relate to Him because we come from Him, and that does not take away that you struggle. And that struggle, you shouldn't hide it. We shouldn't be in denial that sometimes some prayers will go unanswered, you know. Or that sometimes it will just be questions like, is He still there? Is He really looking at us? You know, it is all normal. It's all part of the growing. It's all part of the getting closer to Him. But as long as we don't lose faith and we don't walk away from just because some things didn't go our way, I believe that there are better things always ahead when we stay with Him. So faith it works and it helps, but not everybody is going to walk in faith, and not everybody is going to capture that essence. So I think you beautifully explained, and I'm happy that I hope young people especially, going through your situation, because you have been through the university. There are a lot of exposure in the universities, and growing up in a culture where faith is not part of it. I think it makes it difficult sometimes also because they are fine, so why should I bother myself? And you might be tempted to probably overlook your faith, especially if you live in Europe. Sometimes church is not your first thing that you want to, or God or Jesus is not your first thing, but it has its place. You know, I have this idea that everything has its place, you know, and you eat and you drink, you know, and the fact that you do those two things means that each of it has its own place in your life. And so you have an academic inclination, or like you go to the university, you become smart and all those things. It has its place. You believe, you walk in faith, it has its place. Do not confuse the two, that because you have the other one is not important. Because like that, you miss the point. You miss whatever the water was going to give you if you only choose to eat and not drink. You know what I mean? And so I think that is where most people get it wrong, that they forget that, the fact that I know this does not mean that is not important. So it's up to you to find the balance and to be careful and to walk in faith. But faith really helps, and that is one thing that we are here for, that when all the chips are down and you have nothing to rely on, God is always there for you. And sometimes do not. But He's always there for you. Yeah. So how do you see the future of Belgium as we end this conversation today? What is your hopes? What are your hopes in Belgium, for Africa, for young Africans? What do you think is like the future now? What is your perception of the future? How do you see yourself in the next 5, 10 years, maybe 20 years? What are your hopes and aspirations?
Personally, what I wanted to do before this pandemic came up was to work as much as possible and save. Yeah, and maybe buy a property. Yeah, that's the first thing that I wanted to do. I still want to do it.
Yeah, it's still going to happen though. It's just a matter of time now.
Now it's not gonna happen.
It will happen, maybe not sooner, but it will happen.
That is
Yeah.
First thing, and then secondly, hopefully get married someday and have my own family.
Yeah, it will happen. Definitely.
Besides that, I don't really look far ahead in the future, because you never know what's gonna happen.
Course,
but those are two things that I would have loved to realize within the next 5-7 years. For the far future, I hope that I can really open a bigger office with people working under me.
Yeah.
That's also a dream.
Yeah.
And then also maybe contribute in the motherland in Ghana.
Yeah.
Visit there first.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I haven't visited yet.
Yeah.
Visit there first. Know the country, and then hopefully in the future establish something over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is very good. That is very good. Do you think that I think that there are a lot of opportunities in Belgium here for a lot of young people. Do you believe in that or not? Because that is one thing that I just want to, before I finish, do you believe that in Belgium we have a lot of opportunities as young Africans or not?
As young Africans, yes, there are opportunities.
Yeah.
But we have to be brave enough to take them.
Yeah.
And don't get distracted by discrimination
or the fear,
racism, maybe they will not hire me, or I will not be able to do it. I think we should all try and first of all find out what your craft is.
Yeah.
Find out what your craft is. What are you good at?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Yeah.
And then go deeper in it.
Yeah.
Expand it.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of opportunities in Belgium, not only in Belgium, also in the neighboring countries.
In Europe and also in Africa even. So that there are of course a lot of opportunities around us, and I'm happy that you're saying that we should open up to it. We should be brave. We should have courage to go for these opportunities. Don't let the fear stop you, because I think that is what this racism is all about. Also, at the end of the day, when people discriminate, segregate against you, or racialize against you, is to, at the end of the day, for you to say, okay, I stop, I give up, I don't try anymore, or I don't want to cross over, and then they win. So the only way to stop bad people from winning is to keep trying, is to keep going, is to keep knocking on doors, and I believe that there will be a lot of good opportunities and great things will happen.
But one thing we should also do as Africans, being in the African community, we should try to support each other more. Yeah. Because of the discrimination that is there already, we cannot discriminate our own people. Exactly. So we have to support each other. And if discrimination is still a thing, we can rely on our own people here in Belgium, and then also
in Africa. Because that's a very good message.
There are enough people with African background in Belgium and in Holland and in UK. So we should try and encourage each other and support each other where we can. Yeah. And
that's a very important message. So let's support each other also. Really, it's very important that you said that, because we can count on each other. If we can count on each other, then who else are we going to count on? If you can't count on the people in your home, why are you expecting outsiders to be there for you? So it's a very important message. Let us please come together and indeed support each other, and stop discriminating against ourselves, and also bickering against ourselves and things like that. Definitely. Yeah, that is a very good message. Thank you very much, Blessing. So, last thing, if anybody wants to reach you, where can they find you? Are you online? You said you like to cook. So if somebody wants to come and eat something, where can they find you?
They can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter also. Yeah. So my name is Blessing Dapaah on Facebook. If you type that in the search bar, you will certainly find me.
Yeah. And if you go to the to the doctor. Mostly the prescriptions come from the doctors
Yes.
to go to the physiotherapists.
Yes.
So if you go to the doctor and they write you you need to go for physiotherapy or something like that, she is also a physiotherapist, so you can contact her. We will try and provide her details on our website later on, that if you're looking for somebody, if the doctor writes you, you can always call her and see if she can provide her services for you. She's a certified physiotherapist, so it's not somebody trying to be. She is a physiotherapist, so contact her if you're especially in the African community, and then she will be there for you. So she will be on the nexusfellowship.org website. You can go there. We will try and promote you also so that people can find you and take up your service. Thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome.
I'm glad we were able to do this, and this is not the last time we are meeting, so there will be more. So thank you guys for joining us today. My name is Oscar, and this has been Blessing Dapaah. And for both of us, we are saying bye-bye to you guys.
Bye-bye.
See you on the other side and the next guest. Thank you.